Well, would you look at that? We're on Fen Dunlock, playing a 2v2. Well, we're not playing a 2v2, but watching a 2v2 be played. We've got Fog rocking the Lord General, we've got Headcrab rocking the Tech Marine, we've got Sky Silver rocking the Tech Marine, and Blood Rain rocking the Tech Marine. So a triple Tech Marine. You guys were saying that I run a Tech Marine mercenary corporation. You're not wrong. I got all the Tech Marines for you. I got Tech Marines coming out of the USA, I got Tech Marines coming out of Mother Russia, Tech Marines everywhere. We've got 3 of them in this game, and then a poor lonely Lord General. Let's see how he can fare against all these Tech Marines. So, Blood Rain actually doing the 0 Tactical Space Marine build. I would kind of expect that more from Sky Silver, you know, because Sky Silver is known for spamming scouts. But it's not going to happen in this instance. In fact, wow, this is going to be a weird game, guys. We're seeing Flamer Guardsmen off the bat. Flamer Tactical Marines, pretty common. They can swap to something more useful in Tier 2. They care less about the range because they're so tanky. They're good in melee. Flamer Guardsmen, little bit weird. That's what we're going to see. And one sniper already up for the scouts here for Sky Silver, going to be shooting at Tactical Space Marines. What we got happening on the other side, we have a Flamer on the way for the attacks of Sky Silver, and a fast grenade here for the scouts of Headcrab. Looks like the Tactical Marines with a Flamer, they're going to get the Flamer, and they're just going to get tied up in melee by the Lord General. So we do have some scouts coming over to support, but I don't really think they're going to be able to do too much. There is a Stomp here from the Sentinel. Why is he not using it? Maybe it's on cooldown. So the Tactical Marines actually do manage to take out one of the gens, forcing melee, and now devs arrive a little bit too late there. Tiny bit too late. It's very interesting how this map is literally the same size in 1v1 as it is in 2v2. Do you not think? That is quite interesting. Just switches around the positions on the VPs and such. I actually like this as a 2v2 map, it looks pretty damn good. I think this map definitely suits 2v2 a little bit more. What can you do? Flank here from the scouts of Headcrab, that's going to force off the Devastators. Of course, they don't want to set up when the scouts are nearby because they can get grenaded then. And Lord General probably should just force melee on these scouts. We've got some default guardsmen running around. You don't always want to get the sergeant immediately on the guardsmen because, whilst of course it makes them much more effective in combat, it gives you more upkeep. You're paying the upkeep for the sergeant, which is 2 pop, and then you're paying the upkeep for the extra 2 guardsmen he gives you, which is another 2 pop. So 4 pop extra upkeep, that's an extra 12, no, an extra 11. Yeah, an extra 12 requisition you have to pay every minute if you get that sergeant upgrade. So if you're just using your guardsmen to cap and repair, who cares? Flamer guardsmen get a little flank there, do take out one of the generators, but this is a lot of scouts to deal with. Double sniper scouts here for Sky Silver and a grenade. Oh, two grenade sergeant scouts over here. Tech Marine needs to retreat. He is tanking like crazy. Tank traps are in decent supply on this map, which always helps when you're fighting the Imperial Guard. What's going on over here? We have the TAC Flamers who have sneaked in. Kadishan Devils attempting to deal with them. No, they're not. They're just going to run away and go for the natural VP of the red team. Blue team kind of messing up their positioning there. The Tactical Space Marines walking right into the firing arc of the Devastators, and that is going to be a sound retreat there for all the blue team.
Support structure.
Sentinel, of course, being a vehicle, doesn't actually retreat. And these cheap 6 model guardsmen just going to do a little soft retreat as well. Stay in play for a little longer. Nice VP lead so far for the blue team. Looks like they've had this central VP pretty much all game. You notice that the Kadishans have took the natural VP of the red, so now that the red are pushing down here, they are still going to be behind on VPs. They really could do with sending a scout over to the central VP, I would say. Not looking like there's a great deal of anti-setup team here. The scouts might be able to move into position and get a grenade. They're right on the firing arc right now. They're going to lose another model. Oh, what's the angle here? They're going to get it. They're going to get the nade, and it isn't dodged. So that's really good damage. Only takes out one of the Devastators, but the other one is left with very low HP. The node is taken out down there, but I think blue team should be able to defend it. Wait, who planted these mines? Oh, those mines are from Headcrab. Wow, the enemy Tech Marine shot at the mine as the Kadashan retreated past it, and it killed like 4 Kadashan models. And in fact, this is quite a blob down here. The green cover from the deployable cover here is actually being utilized by the Tech Marine. If I was Headcrab, sorry, if I was Fog, I would actually target the cover. You could shoot the cover, break that thing, rather than trying to shoot at the Tech Marine, because he is getting so much damage resistance from this cover, it is unbelievable. Though the Sentinel seems to be shooting with perfect accuracy, which is rather odd. And all the gen farm here for the blue team was taken out by the tactical flamers. Oh my god, look at this. So we got the full 6 gens versus 0 gens here and only 1 gen here for the blue team. Blue team need to get to grips with their power situation or they're going to be in big trouble. Artificer armor here, giving huge HP regen for the Tech Marine of Sky Silver, and it might be enough to save him. No, it isn't. Wow. Pretty damn close. But the scouts should get forced off from the mid. Now Tax can take this VP with their extra capping speed, and they can also bash this node very quickly. So, looking very positive right now for the red team. We've got a little bit of a bash here coming out from Headcrab, but it's only default Tactical Space Marine, so it's not really going to be that quick. And this duo of Devastators and then the double Scouts, I mean, Fog just is unable to deal with it. His Kadashans haven't even been here, and he doesn't have artillery spotters, which would be the ideal counter to the Devastator. So yeah, he's just in a really awkward position. Sentinel does manage to flank around here though, using the cover basically of the Kadashan Devils. But is there any follow-up? We've got Guardsmen with Flamers probably going to be running into melee here to stop that Devastator from being able to set up. And the Kadashans are moving in, their shotguns doing very good damage to the scouts. A couple of grenades get thrown in. Does it take any Kadashans out? I think it got 1 Kadashan Devil there. 1 Kadashan Devil was killed by that frag grenade. Whilst the scouts are going to be holding the mid, Sky Silver uses the drop pod, calls in some more tactical Space Marines, and I think finally the blue team are going to be able to push the red team back and take their VP. Kadashans should be... oh, snipers just instantly get rid of that Sentinel. I'm sure Sky Silver will be feeling pretty happy about that. We've got Plasma Devastators on the field already for Blood Rain. Going to be using it nice and defensive, covering the wreck point here and the natural gen farm. And a Dreadnought coming out as well. Just the sheer quantity of units on the field now for the red team is so high in comparison to the blue team. But the blue team are doing a fantastic job, as we can see here again, constantly putting pressure onto the VPs of the red team. So even though the red team did have that natural VP of the blue team for so long, they didn't hold the mid, and now that they hold the mid, blue team have rotated and took their natural. So red team really need to do something about this. What I would do if I was the red team, you've got 2 Tech Marines, you probably should be building a turret over here or something. It's a bit awkward because this map's large, so you can flank around the turret. There's no great position, but maybe if you put it here, I suppose they'll come through here. But have your setup teams defend this sort of area here to prevent them walking up, and then have the turret positioned maybe here. I don't know. It's awkward because you can get a Chimera and break it. It's a tough map actually for the turrets. This feels like a bit better of a turret position, but even over here the damage will be really light. They'll probably get the decap quite easily. Very awkward. Anyway, we see a Primaris Psycho, and one of the Guardsmen went down. I didn't even notice. I wonder if that was P-Devs and grenades. I mean, yeah, that's pretty scary for any Guardsman squad. P-Devs could be quite problematic here. This is quite funny. We've got Tactical Space Marines hiding in the green cover with the Lord General opposite them, also in green cover. Those attacks are going to be turning into Stern Guard, and right now the Dreadnought is getting... Oh my god, we've got an enfilade of fire here. A las cannon heavy weapons squad, a missile tactical marine, and the orbs of the Omnissiah stunned that Dreadnought. That is a dead knot. Not Dreadnought. It's dead, Jim. Curious to see how this Psyker will do. Old Reliable unfortunately missing, but right now Psyker is at total max range, so he's not getting suppressed whilst he's in cover. You can see him quite easily actually dealing with the Devastators. A nice choice here from Fog, using the long range splash attacks of the Psyker to deal with those setup teams that have been causing him so much grief. And here we go. Yep, beautiful positioning on the turret here. As you can see, this is the edge of the map right now, so it's very hard to flank it. You probably can get your attacks through here if there's no supporting units, but certainly while units are supporting, this is going to be quite challenging to deal with. And that's just going to basically guarantee the bash here from Headcrab, utilising that missile launcher that he bought. Why not? Primary Psycho got very close to dying there, 11 HP. I mean, snipers are going to be problematic for him. And Stern Guard moving in alongside snipers. Man, Kedushin Devils just taking so much damage. It's interesting to see the Kedushin Devils in this instance. You know, there's no melee units on the field. That is the primary thing that the Kedushin Devils counter. They are also anti-garrison. I suppose this garrison can be problematic. Spotters, of course, would have helped deal with the Devastators more, but Spotters themselves are not very good as an independent capping unit, and you'll notice that Fog has been using his Cadushins away from his army quite a lot. Will the snipers get the Tech Marine here? Looks like they misfire, unfortunately. That could have been a dead Tech Marine. Oh, nice grenade! Only kills one Tactical Space Marine. Lord General here, just trying to tie up the tax. We don't see any upgrades here on the Psyker, which is a little bit of a problem for him. If he had a Shockwave here, that could be quite nice. Is that going to be a nade? Sloppy nade. Headcrab. Jesus. Snipers force off the Psyker. Now force off the Scouts as well. I mean, compositionally, this looks very good for Red Team. It's just the VPs are problematic for them. And honestly, Fog's kind of exploiting that, and I like that play. He's gone for a very light tier 2. You know, we don't even see any Commissars. We don't see Plasma. We don't even see the Sergeant on the Cadushins. We do see a Las Cannon Heavy Weapons team, which is fair enough. It did its job. It killed the Dreadnought. But he's just going to go straight into tier 3 with his main expenditure being his Psyker. Obviously going to be going for, presumably, some Lehman Russ. Psyker using one of his channeled slow abilities there just to try and control the Tech Marine. Tech Marine very tanky right now because he's got that Refractor Shield. Not only is that a 5-to-1 shield in terms of HP per energy, but it also has the passive effect of having a 20% accuracy debuff to all enemy attacks. So makes him very, very tanky. What's happening on the left-hand side? We've got a big push here from the Space Marines of Headcrab. Going to revive the Lord General who went down from something. Probably snipers. Could go down again. He's going to die again. Fog, no! Loses his Lord General again, and that feeds XP to the Tech Marine of Sky Silver, which is now level 3. He is rocking the Artificer Armor himself with the Melter Gun and the Refractor Shield, and he's going to kill the Tech Marine of Headcrab. Both of Blue Team's heroes are dead at this point, and Headcrab Space Marines are forced off. The Lehman Russ is here though. We've got the call in from the global bar of the Lord General. Gets that Lehman Russ out straight away without having to wait for the build time and at a little bit of a cheaper power cost. And that is going to be appreciated for the blue team. They want to be using as little power as possible for these purchases because once again we see the red team is pushing on to the gen farm here of Headcrab. Headcrab staying in tier 2, actually going for a Dreadnought himself. He's going to be giving that Dreadnought an Assault Cannon that is 150 power investment. And blue team don't really have a lot of power to go around, so this Dreadnought really needs to make things happen right now. Because if we look at the other side, the red team, both of their players are already in tier 3, so we could start seeing some Terminators. Which, I don't know if you guys play team games in this game, but Terminators are very hard to handle in team games. The sheer amount of HP regeneration they get, as well as the power of super heavy infantry armor to make them basically shrug off piercing DPS attacks, Terminators can be very hard to handle. So this Dreadnought needs to come out and put in some work. The problem right now is that we have P-Devs in the middle which can deny this decap on the VP, so these P-Devs need to go. Interesting that the P-Devs are on the front and not the heavy bolter devastators. You would kind of expect that with the P-Devs behind since they have longer range. Nevertheless, the P-Devs were on the front and they are going to get forced off. Guardsmen are attempted to get the cap. There is some good fire support here from the Lehman Russ. What is this calling? Is that Terminators? Indeed it is. That is Terminators for Blood Rain called in. Immediately those Storm Bolters forcing off the Psyker, and the Guardsmen do get the decap, but they're not going to have the time to finish the cap before they themselves have to retreat. Terminus is now basically free to get onto the cap, I believe. You know, the tank can be shooting in at them, but the tank just isn't going to do very good DPS against Terminators. We do see that Vanquisher Cannon greatly increases the DPS of the Lehman Russ, basically doubles the DPS because it reduces the reload time massively on the cannon. It does remove your splash, but it's worth it to get the increased DPS and extra range. Especially against Space Marines, you know. Maybe if you're fighting Nids or Orcs or something, the splash is okay. Against Space Marines, you just want to shoot that cannon as fast as possible. You can see even here, just doesn't do a huge amount of damage to tactical Space Marines. Even there, shooting the tax, it didn't do a lot of damage. But it chips away at them. It's really, really long range. This cannon is as long range as the last cannons, so just keep it chilling at the back and it will put in some good work. More Terminators? Honestly, no. Is that a Venerable Dreadnought? Oh, it is. Beautiful. I love to see it. So the Venerable Dreadnought comes in and it forces the Assault Cannon Dreadnought of Headcrab to walk forward, potentially into the firing arc of the last cannon. He's trying to evade the Vendread, which has actually got hit by a Orbs of the Omnissiah right now. We've got fire support from missile attacks trying to take out the Venerable Dreadnought. The Terminators here should be forcing melee onto the missile attacks, but instead they get their Cyclone missile launcher and take out the Assault Cannon Dreadnought. Vendread will fall though. It's not going to be able to get out of here when it's getting shot by the Lehman Russ. It activates its stoicism and it needs to get out of there. A whole bunch of dead Guardsmen. The Sergeant is the only one to get away there with 4 HP, but the Venerable Dreadnought finally falls after its Stoicism ability ends. Scouts here from Blood Rain are going to be attempting to get onto the VP. They've got to deal with the IED first. I suppose they could have ran around to try and get a decap, but Lehman Russ is here, so it wouldn't have mattered either way. And we now see the second Lehman Russ now hitting the field. Interesting to see whether or not we're going to get another Executioner. Sorry, if we're going to get another Vanquisher. I always get these things confused. Or if we're going to see a Executioner. The Executioner cannon is the shorter ranged splash damage, plasma damage cannon. So obviously it would have way higher DPS against the Terminators, but the problem is it's got that short range, which is not really ideal when you're dealing with all these setup teams. And blue team finding it very difficult right now to penetrate through the middle. It's kind of to be expected when you're fighting 2 Tech Marines and you've got a load of setup teams and this VP is just so out in the open. And look at this massive open space here in the mid to contend with. Fighting against Terminators who just you can't get rid of. They've got such good HP regen. Of course, there are no real dedicated counters to the Terminators on the field right now. Typically you would want melee to deal with Space Marine Terminators. They are the only unit in the entire Space Marine roster which does not have melee resist. That is the intended counter, but when you're playing Tech Marine or Lord General, you don't have a lot of melee to go around. Not to mention, it's going to be hard to use melee when there's this much fire support helping them. With Devastators in the building at the back there. I mean, they do manage to kill... Oh no, they're not Terminators. How foolish of me to expect Terminators to have died. Tech Marine getting very close to killing the primary Psyker there. One more hit would have took him out. Yeah, blue team really trying their best, but just can't penetrate this. We've got a repair bunker down. So that's nice, because Fog does only have the 1 Guardsman, so not a lot of repair support here for his Lehman Russ. Really lovely to have that repair bunker. A nice positioning there, hiding it behind the garrison, so you can't just shoot with P-Devs. You have to move P-Devs like around here to try and get the angle. Of course, P-Dev's here, a lot more exposed to the Lima Russ than P-Dev's back here. So good positioning there for the bunker. If I was playing as the red team, I would really be trying to get my P-Devs into a position over here to take out this repair bunker. But as great support as that repair bunker is, it doesn't really help blue team do what they need to do right now. They need to get onto the VP. This is a creeping Basilisk barrage there, called in from the Lord General's global bar, but Terminators are immune to knockback, so they don't really care. I mean, they're getting lower. The chip damage from the double Vanquisher cannon is certainly doing something, but it's just taking so long. Look at this, now we've got the las cannon and the P-Dev setting up once again. Psyker gets knocked over by a P-Dev shot, gotta get out of there. Las cannon's gonna get another shot onto the Lehman Russ. Where is Headcrab's units? So the scouts are getting a decap over here. We've got Guardsmen defending this side. Where are the Kadishans? They're coming back over, finally getting their sergeant. Wow, that is a really late sergeant. But with the sergeant, they'll be able to deal with the scouts pretty much non-stop. They'll also be... they get that melter gun, which is nice. Help DPS down the Tech Marine. They're not going to be able to solo the Tech Marine though. He's going to be too tanky right now. A Lehman Russ is going to have to divert down this direction. My god, a P-Dev shot just goes over the top of that Predator tank. The Predator tank faster than the Lehman Russ, but much less durable. And it's taking a lot of las cannon shots right now. Still in range of the las cannon, needs to keep moving. What is he doing? Oh, he gets taken out there by a rogue missile from the Cyclone missile launcher. Terminator's still rocking at a very similar amount of HP as they had a while back. Lord General's going to rotate down this side. Psyker's present as well, but just the Tech Marine's going absolutely crazy. Can't kill him with this Refractor Shield and the Axe of the Mechanicum. At least Fog is delaying this decap to buy themselves a little bit more time. Lima Russ is going to rotate backwards, help support this engagement. Like I said, he's going to need the Lehman Russ in order to be able to deal with this Tech Marine, unfortunately. Scouts infiltrating look like they're going to go over for the decap here, but Sky Silver's well aware of that potential. Rotates both of his scout sergeants over with their snipers. They're going to be able to deal with these scouts quite easily. Tech Marine should go down here. They do get him eventually. It took a very long time, and I don't know why the Terminators were pushing this deep. Perhaps going to go for a Cyclone missile launcher attack onto the bunker. That does do a lot of damage, but it's probably on cooldown. Did just use it to take out the Predator tank. So here we go. This is kind of the time that they need to push right now. The P-Devs, where are the P-Devs? The P-Devs are dead. I don't even know how the P-Devs died, but they died. That is huge. That is a lot of the really powerful defensive fire support gone for the red team. This is the time for the blue team to make their play. A little bit disappointed to not see the Refractor Shield here on the Tech Marine of Headcrab. Seems a bit strange. But I don't think they can do it. There's no red for nukes, which is problematic. Lehman Russ are putting in some good work here, popping Sternguard models, but they can't cap, that's the problem. And their DPS is just not high enough to deal with these Marines right now, there's just too many. There's not enough fire support here for the IG, you know. We need Plasma Guardsmen, we need Kassakin, really. Not a third Lehman Russ, I don't think. I don't think this is the play. Headcrab really is letting down the team here. Headcrab needs P-Devs of his own, or Terminators. That could have been the game changer. If Headcrab had some Terminators, they could probably have gone in when the P-Devs was killed, being able to cap this VP, since you can't knock them over and they're just so tanky. If the blue team manage to get this VP, it is possible that they will win this game, because taking the VP back where there are triple Lehman Russ with Vanquisher cannons, it's going to be quite difficult. So here comes an orbital bombardment, attempting to stop the cap. It should wipe out the Sternguard. Maybe not, because they activated and then... okay. Forget and they shall know no fear. They got obliterated. So it is a decap. There was an attempt there from the... oh god, Headcrab. I was going to say an attempt from the missile attacks of Headcrab to take the natural VP there, but with this many units defending it, it was futile. Well, It's all on Fog right now because Headcrab has no units, just his Tech Marine healing in the base. Kadishan's easily able to deal with the scouts here. Very nice side capping unit, or VP defense unit. Vanquish is able to take out the Librarian there. I don't really know what the Librarian was doing so far forward all on his own. Psyker could be very useful here. Not only is his splash damage helpful against the Tactical Space Marines and Terminators, but he can use that Shockwave ability, which we haven't even seen yet this game. He can use that to knock Tactical Marines off the cap. It's going to be a Land Raider Crusader here for Blood Rain and a Predator tank for Sky Silver. That Predator tank, one would have to assume, is going to be picking up a las cannon. Still, going for a Predator tank against triple Vanquish and Leman Russ seems quite bold, and I'm afraid one las cannon not going to be able to do too much against these tanks. Let's have a look at the levels. Okay, yeah, the original Leman Russ is already level 4, the second one is nearly level 4, and of course this one is quite fresh, but it's still nearly level 2. Is Fog going to be able to make the comeback here? Headcrab is going for a Land Raider Redeemer, which to me is just hilarious because there's no infantry to support. Kadishans are stuck defending the VP anyway, so they're not going to get the support from the Land Raider Redeemer. Guardsmen are still running around with Flamers and just the Sergeant, no Commissar, so they're kind of useless. And there's a Psyker. I would not be going for the Land Raider Redeemer right now. I would definitely be going for Terminators if I was Headcrab. You know, even Vanguard Veterans could be quite useful, but yeah, Terminators would be amazing right now. Help deal with this Land Raider Redeemer. Another repair bunker coming out for the Imperial Guard here. The Land Raider's just going to push up. Here comes the push from the red team. Land Raider tanking so much damage right now. There is a potential Orbs of the Omnissiah here from the Tech Marine, but he's going to get melted. He throws the Orbs. He gets the Orbs off. We don't have any red from Headcrab to follow up though. One of the bunkers is taken down. The Leman Russes are getting pushed back quite tremendously. Las Cannon at max range. They're getting a shot. Finishes off one of the Leman Russes, I think. Oh, both the Leman Russes fall. Indeed, disaster does loom. So much anti-vehicle DPS here. Twin-linked las cannon Predator. We got the las cannon in the back. We got double las cannons in fact. You got missile tacks, Sturgard with Vengeance rounds, and the Cyclone missile launcher on the Terminator squad. And with that, with the Leman Russ now sat there getting crazy repairs, 5 times repairs on the Leman Russ. Oh my god, the Land Raider Redeemer. This thing is not dying, and I'm afraid it's a little bit too late for Headcrab's own Land Raider Redeemer. That is going to be the game in favour of our red team. Sky Silver and Blood Rain. Tech Marine Mercenary Company continues strong. Tech Marine are the best. They are the reddest, they are the fastest, and they are the strongest. Hope you did enjoy that, guys. If you enjoy the 2v2 content, please leave a like down below so I know. If this video gets a lot of views, you're gonna see more 2v2 content. If it gets worse than average views, you might be waiting a few more weeks before you see any more 2v2. So please remember, if you want to see more 2v2, you gotta leave the comment and like the video. Then it'll get advertised to more people on YouTube, and then it'll get more views. It's as simple as that. And if you want more 1v1 content from your boy SCD, you can find it on the Patreon. That is all from your boy Torpid, signing out.